Hi, neighbor. Welcome to day 2 of our birthday celebration for Anchors of Encouragement. My name is Tim Maudlin, husband, adoptive parent, Bible class teacher, and ambassador of encouragement. In the previous episode, episode 80, I shared with you 10 of the more popular episodes from the first year of this podcast. If you haven't heard that episode, it's a short one, only about 5 minutes long. But please notice in the show notes, there are links to each one of those episodes. You can binge listen as often as you want, and I would like to encourage you to share that episode with your adoptive friends. Today I would like to look back to the very beginning of this podcast and to the reason and purpose it exists at all. This podcast is designed to offer biblical mindset support for adoptive parents. The adoption journey is very rewarding, but at times it can be very challenging, especially when you factor in adoption trauma. I've said this multiple times on the show and I want to repeat it again. I am pro-adoption. I want to encourage people to adopt, but I want you to do so with your eyes wide open, because sometimes things that you weren't anticipating can rear their head and cause the adoption journey to be rather challenging. Sometimes when things get difficult, your friends will fail you. They may walk away from you. I know how that feels. Sometimes you will think you have failed as a parent. I know how that feels too. And sometimes you will think God has failed you. Again, I know how that feels. What do you do about these 3 things? Number 1, when friends fail you, there's nothing you can do. If they walk away from you, that's on them. I choose rather to focus on the friends who drew closer to me when things got difficult. They were willing to roll up their sleeves and get messy with us. I cherish them to this day. When you think you have failed your children, chances are all you need are some different tools. Once you get those tools and start using them, you will see positive results in your parenting. This third idea, this is the most difficult. When you think God has failed you, you may think He has abandoned you. I know how that feels. Before I get into a solution, I want to say this. Don't beat yourself up if you've ever thought that way. And the reason I can say that is you aren't alone. I've felt that way. But more importantly, inspired people in Scripture have felt that way too. And that gets us to the solution and to what I want to talk with you about today to offer you biblical mindset support. In Psalm 77, the psalmist Asaph is wrestling with something difficult in his life. We don't know what it was. I want to encourage you to pay attention to how he talks to God in this psalm, beginning in verse 1. I cry out to God, yes, I shout. Oh, that God would listen to me. When I was in deep trouble, I searched for the Lord. All night long I prayed with hands lifted toward heaven, but my soul was not comforted. I think of God and I moan, overwhelmed with longing for His help. You don't let me sleep. I am too distressed even to pray. I think of the good old days, long since ended, when my nights were filled with joyful songs. I search my soul and ponder the difference now. Has the Lord rejected me forever? Will He never again be kind to me? Is His unfailing love gone forever? Have His promises permanently failed? Has God forgotten to be gracious? Has He slammed the door on His compassion? Asaph is in a bad place. Listen to verse 10. And I said, this is my fate. The Most High has turned His hand against me. Have you ever felt that way? Have you ever gone through something so difficult that you wondered if God was still there? If His unfailing love was still there for you? Asaph did. But to his credit, he didn't stop there. Let's continue with verse 11. But then I recall all you have done, O Lord. I remember your wonderful deeds of long ago. They are constantly in my thoughts. I cannot stop thinking about your mighty works. O God, your ways are holy. Is there any God as mighty as you? You are the God of great wonders. You demonstrate your awesome power among the nations. By your strong arm you redeemed your people. the descendants of Jacob and Joseph. When the Red Sea saw you, O God, its waters looked and trembled. The sea quaked to its very depths. The clouds poured down rain. The thunder rumbled in the sky. Your arrows of lightning flashed. Your thunder roared from the whirlwind. The lightning lit up the world. The earth trembled and shook. Your road led through the sea, your pathway through the mighty waters, a pathway no one knew was there. You led your people along the road like a flock of sheep, with Moses and Aaron as their shepherds. In this psalm, Asaph shows us how to process and deal with difficult situations we might go through. Let's get your daily doable to give you some action steps to go away with. When things look bleak and you think God has forgotten you, remember His wonderful deeds. I would like to encourage you to copy this verse down, verse 19. Your road led through the sea, your pathway through the mighty waters, a pathway no one knew was there. There might be times when you see no way out of a situation. You might think God has abandoned you. The one thing that biblical mindset support provides you is you can understand that God's unfailing love is always there. He has not forgotten you. Chances are He might even lead you on a path no one even knows is there. I hope you've been encouraged by this psalm. I know I have. I've used it to help me navigate some of the challenges I faced in my life. I hope you will be able to use it too. That's all for this episode. I want to thank you so much for joining me as we celebrate the birthday of this podcast. I hope you'll consider sharing this episode with your adoptive friends. Until next time, this is Tim, encouraging you to do what you can now.